Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to talk to you about one of the most powerful principles that shape every human life, the law of attraction. Now, I know this phrase has become quite popular lately. You hear it everywhere. Think positive and everything will come to you. But let's not get carried away with slogans. Let's understand it the way it really works, practically, powerfully, and purposefully. Jim Rohn used to say, "Success is not something you pursue. Success is something you attract by the person you become." That, my friends, is the law of attraction in its purest form. See, the universe doesn't just hand out rewards because you wish for them. It responds to who you are, to your thoughts, your habits, your energy, your discipline, and your faith. If you want to attract abundance, you must first become abundant in your thinking. If you want success, you must embody success in your attitude long before it shows up in your bank account. It stops not magic. It stops mindset. It stats not luck. It stats alignment. The inner magnet. You are a walking magnet. Every thought you think sends out a signal. Every emotion you carry broadcasts energy. And those signals attract people, opportunities, and situations that match your vibration. When you think scarcity, you pull in lack. When you think growth, you pull in progress. When you expect good things, life starts opening doors that were once invisible. Now, this doesn't mean you sit on the couch and visualize all day. That's not attraction. That's illusion. The law of attraction works with the law of action. You've got to do the work. You've got to show up with faith, with effort, with persistence. You can attract health while living unhealthy. You can't attract wealth while spending irresponsibly. You can't attract love while walking around bitter and closed off. As Jim Rohn said, discipline is the bridge between goals and accomplishment. So yes, dream big, but also act consistently. You are a walking magnet. Whether you realize it or not, every single thought you think, every emotion you entertain, every word you speak, and every action you take is sending out a signal, a vibration that travels out into the world and quietly shapes the quality of your life. The law of attraction begins right there, with that invisible force inside you that's constantly drawing things into your experience. You don't attract what you want, you attract who you are. That's the truth most people miss. Wanting something is easy. Everyone wants success, happiness, love, and wealth. But becoming the person who naturally draws those things in is where the real work begins. When you wake up in the morning filled with enthusiasm, determination, and gratitude, the world begins to mirror that back to you. You start to see opportunities that were always there but hidden from your sight when your mind was clouded by negativity. That's how powerful your energy is. It acts as a filter for reality. Two people can look at the same situation and one sees a problem while the other sees potential. The difference is not the situation, it's the vibration of the person observing it. One attracts solutions, the other attracts more frustration. The inner magnet never stops working. It's always responding to the thoughts and emotions you feed it. When you think scarcity, you pull in lack. When you think abundance, you begin to notice doors opening. When you fill your mind with worry, you attract more reasons to worry. But when you fill it with faith and expectancy, life begins to organize itself around your belief. That's not superstition, it's alignment. Everything in life has a frequency. And when your frequency matches what you desire, it starts moving toward you. But here's the part most people overlook. The law of attraction is not about daydreaming your way to success. It's about becoming aligned in mind, heart, and action. You can't attract health while living unhealthy. You can't attract abundance while holding a poverty mindset. You can't attract meaningful relationships while carrying bitterness and resentment. The law of attraction works only when your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors are all pointed in the same direction. You can't think positively for an hour and then complain for the rest of the day. You can't visualize greatness and then settle for mediocrity in your actions. The universe responds to consistency, not confusion. So if you truly want to attract something powerful into your life, Start by asking yourself, what kind of energy am I putting out every day? When you walk into a room, do people feel your enthusiasm, or do they feel your frustration? Do your words lift others up, or do they drag them down? Are your habits helping you move toward your dreams, or away from them? The inner magnet is not just about thoughts. It's about who you are becoming, moment by moment. It's about cultivating a mindset and a lifestyle that reflect the kind of outcomes you desire. Let's take an example. Imagine a person who constantly complains about not having enough money. They tell themselves, I'm broke. Nothing ever works out. Life is unfair. Their thoughts are tuned to scarcity. Their emotions are soaked in frustration, and their actions come from desperation. What do they attract? More of the same. Bills, setbacks, disappointments, because that's the vibration they're radiating. Now imagine another person with the same financial challenges, but a completely different energy. They say, I'm grateful for what I have. I'm learning, I'm improving, I'm creating value. Their thoughts are abundant, their emotions are hopeful, and their actions are purposeful. That person begins to attract new ideas, new people, and new chances to grow. It's not luck, it's magnetism. The inner magnet doesn't judge or discriminate, it simply responds. It doesn't care whether your energy is positive or negative, it just multiplies whatever you focus on. That's why Jim Rohn often said, don't wish it were easier, wish you were better. Because when you become better, stronger, wiser, and more disciplined, your magnet changes. And when your magnet changes, what you attract changes. It's never about trying to control the outside world, it's about mastering your inner world so that the outer world begins to shift naturally. If you're not happy with what's showing up in your life, don't blame the magnet, adjust it. If you keep attracting chaos, look for the chaos within. If you keep meeting the wrong people, ask what energy you're emitting that draws them in. If opportunities keep slipping away, examine whether your mindset is open to receiving them. The outer experience is just feedback for the inner vibration. Life is always teaching you something through what it brings or withholds. And remember, the magnet grows stronger through gratitude and discipline. Gratitude keeps your focus on what's working, not what's missing. Discipline ensures that your actions match your intentions. Together they create a powerful force that pulls the right circumstances into your life. You don't need to chase success when you're aligned with it. Success starts finding you. That's why people who are genuinely happy and passionate seem lucky. They're not lucky, they're magnetic. So each morning before you rush into the world, take a moment to tune your magnet. Think thoughts of growth, of peace, of confidence. Speak words of encouragement to yourself and to others. Act in ways that demonstrate integrity, persistence, and faith. Because when your inner world is ordered, your outer world cannot help but follow. The law of attraction isn't about sitting in silence and hoping for miracles. It's about moving forward with the right energy, trusting that every step you take in alignment with your higher vision sends ripples into the universe that come back multiplied. You can't control how or when it happens, but you can control the signal you're sending. Keep your signal strong, clear, and full of purpose. In time, you'll notice that life starts matching your vibration. The right people show up. The right opportunities appear. The right doors open. Not because you forced them, but because you became the kind of person who naturally attracts them. And that, my friends, is the secret of the inner magnet. You don't chase, you align. You don't beg, you become. You don't hope for attraction, you embody it. Because once you master your energy, you master your life. Change what you start attracting. If you don't like what you're attracting, change what you're emitting. If your life feels stagnant, ask yourself, what kind of energy am I putting into the world? Are my thoughts positive or poisoned by doubt? Are my words filled with hope or filled with excuses? Are my actions moving me closer to my goals or further away? You can't attract growth from a mindset that resists change. You can't attract opportunity while complaining about your circumstances. You can't attract joy while holding on to resentment. The law of attraction starts with self-awareness. It starts with deciding, I am no longer going to think small. Because the moment you shift your thinking, your energy begins to change. And the moment your energy changes, the world starts to respond differently to you. If you don't like what you're attracting, it's time to look inward, not outward. The truth is, life is always a mirror, faithfully reflecting who you are and what you carry inside. The people, the opportunities, the circumstances that come into your life are not random. They are responses, echoes of your own energy. If you find yourself repeating the same struggles, meeting the same kinds of people, or facing the same disappointments, the universe is not punishing you. It's simply giving you feedback. It's saying this is what your vibration is calling in. So, if you want to change what's coming towards you, the first step is to change what's going out from you. Your thoughts, words, and emotions are like seeds you're planting every day. Some people plant seeds of faith, discipline, and gratitude, and their life blossoms. Others plant seeds of fear, doubt, and resentment, and wonder why nothing beautiful grows. You cannot plant negativity and harvest joy. You cannot plant laziness and reap success. The soil of life gives you back exactly what you sowed. Jim Rohn used to say, whatever good things we build end up building us. That means your results are not accidents. They're reflections. Every outcome in your life is a message pointing back to your mindset, your habits, your focus. So ask yourself honestly, what have you been broadcasting? Are your thoughts empowering or self-defeating? Are your conversations filled with vision or with excuses? Do you spend your energy creating possibilities or rehearsing problems? Because whatever you focus on consistently, you begin to pull closer. If you constantly focus on lack, life will confirm your belief with more lack. If you focus on growth, you'll start to notice new chances to expand. The law of attraction doesn't respond to what you wish for, it responds to what you believe in and act upon. Let's take a simple example. Suppose you often say, nothing ever works out for me. Even if you say it casually, you're training your mind to look for evidence that proves you right. You start seeing setbacks more clearly than opportunities. You interpret delays as denials. You shrink your own vision to match your expectation of failure. Then life, being the faithful mirror that it is, reflects that expectation right back. But when you shift your inner dialogue to something like, I'm learning, I'm improving, I'm getting closer every day, the mirror changes. Suddenly you notice new resources, new ideas, and new support you couldn't see before. The situation may still be tough, but your perception has changed, and perception shapes reality. Changing what you attract begins with self-awareness. Most people live reactively, responding to whatever happens around them. But the law of attraction invites you to live proactively, to decide the energy you want to bring into each moment. You can choose to meet challenges with frustration or with curiosity. You can choose to meet people with judgment or with kindness. You can choose to see a closed door as rejection or redirection. And that choice changes everything. The more consciously you choose your energy, the more consciously you shape your results. Now here's the truth. Many people miss the law of attraction isn't just about thinking positively, it's about thinking accurately. Positive thinking without honest self-reflection is fantasy. You can't stand in the middle of chaos, ignore your bad habits, and just chant affirmations expecting your life to transform. The universe doesn't respond to what you say you want, it responds to what you are. That means you must face yourself honestly. If you keep attracting unhealthy relationships, ask why you're tolerating them. If you keep attracting failure, ask what patterns you're repeating. If you keep attracting chaos, ask where your mind is chaotic. Don't fight the reflection. Fix the cause. You see, energy never lies. You can put on a smile, but your vibration reveals your truth. You can post motivational quotes online, but your inner thoughts are what shape your destiny. The good news is that change begins the moment you decide to realign. You don't have to overhaul your entire life overnight. Just start with awareness. Notice your dominant thoughts. Observe your emotional tone. Pay attention to your words. Are you speaking abundance or limitation? Every time you shift a single thought from fear to faith, you slightly adjust your magnet. Every time you choose gratitude over complaint, you slightly strengthen your frequency. Over time, those small shifts create massive transformation. And remember, the law of attraction is not meant to replace effort. It enhances it. You must act in harmony with your desires. If you want better health, start making healthier choices. If you want success, start practicing the habits of successful people. If you want peace, stop entertaining drama. Every action you take either strengthens or weakens your attraction. You can't attract discipline while living in distraction. You can't attract prosperity while resenting others' success. The energy you give out determines what returns to you. It also helps to detach from the outcome and focus on alignment. Too many people obsess over when things will happen instead of who they need to become for them to happen. You don't attract what you chase with desperation. You attract what you calmly expect with conviction. That's the difference between wishing and knowing. When you're aligned, when your thoughts, beliefs, and actions are in sync, you don't need to force results. They start finding you naturally. You begin to meet the right people at the right time. You find yourself in the right place by what seems like coincidence. But it's not coincidence, it's resonance. If you truly want to change what you're attracting, raise your standards. Don't settle for low-energy thoughts or low-effort days. Choose to become the kind of person who radiates excellence. Fill your environment with positivity, your mind with learning, your heart with gratitude. Because as your inner world grows richer, your outer world starts to match it. Life doesn't give you what you demand, it gives you what you demonstrate. So the next time you catch yourself complaining about what's missing, stop and shift your focus to what's possible. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of saying, I'll believe it when I see it, say, I'll see it when I believe it. That single shift in mindset changes your magnetic field from resistance to receptivity. You begin to flow with life instead of fighting against it. Ultimately, changing what you attract isn't about changing the world around you. It's about changing the world within you. Because once you elevate your thoughts, refine your emotions, and align your actions, life has no choice but to rise to meet you. You stop chasing things and start drawing them in. The doors that were once closed begin to open. The opportunities you thought were out of reach start appearing. Not because the world changed, but because you did. And that is the real power of attraction. The mirror of life? Life is a mirror. Whatever you send out comes back. Send out anger, and you'll get more reasons to be angry. Send out gratitude, and life gives you more to be grateful for. Gratitude is one of the most powerful magnets on earth. When you start appreciating what you already have, your health, your family, your opportunities, your lessons, you instantly raise your vibration. You stop chasing happiness and start attracting it naturally. And remember, the smallest shift in mindset can create the biggest change in results. Life is a mirror, and it never lies. Whatever you send out into the world comes back to you, often multiplied. The people you meet, the situations you face, the outcomes you experience, all of these are reflections of your own internal state. If your thoughts are filled with anger, frustration, and fear, then life will show you more reasons to feel angry, frustrated, and afraid. But when your heart is filled with gratitude, hope, and kindness, the world begins to mirror those qualities back to you in ways that seem almost miraculous. This is the essence of the law of attraction, but it's also one of the oldest truths in human experience. You don't get what you want, you get what you are. Every moment you're standing in front of the mirror of life, and it's showing you who you've been being. If you look closely, your relationships reflect your communication style. Your finances reflect your discipline. Your health reflects your daily habits. Your opportunities reflect your readiness. This is why complaining never works. It's like shouting at the mirror, expecting your reflection to smile before you do. The mirror only responds to what's shown to it. If you want to see something different in your life, you must first change the expression you're showing to the world. Jim Rohn often said, "Don't wish it were easier, wish you were better." The mirror of life doesn't bend for our wishes, but it responds instantly to our growth. The moment you decide to think higher, act wiser, and live with greater integrity, the reflection begins to shift. Maybe not overnight, but surely and steadily. Just as your physical reflection changes when you smile, your life reflection changes when you raise your emotional and mental vibration. The outer world always follows the inner world, never the other way around. Think about this. When you stand before a mirror, you don't reach out to fix the reflection. You adjust yourself. You don't blame the mirror for what it shows. You change your posture, your expression, your stance. Life works exactly the same way. Yet most people spend their energy trying to fix the reflection, trying to change other people, control circumstances, or manipulate outcomes, while ignoring the real source of the issue themselves. If your outer life feels chaotic, start by bringing peace to your inner life. If your outer world feels unkind, practice more compassion within. If your outer circumstances are full of lack, cultivate a mindset of abundance. The mirror doesn't change first, you do. And it's important to understand that the mirror of life is perfectly neutral. It doesn't judge. It doesn't decide what you deserve. It simply reflects what you continually project. If you believe life is unfair, you'll see proof everywhere that it is. If you believe opportunities are abundant, you'll find them in places others overlook. If you believe people are untrustworthy, you'll attract situations that confirm that belief. And if you believe people are kind and generous, life will bring those qualities right to your doorstep. The mirror always matches your expectations. So how do you start reshaping that reflection? By changing your focus. Gratitude is the first and most powerful tool for transforming the mirror of life. When you begin to consciously notice what's right instead of what's wrong, your reflection starts to brighten. Gratitude lifts your vibration instantly because it tells the universe, I already have enough. And when you feel enough, you attract more. The more thankful you are for what you have, the more reasons life gives you to be thankful. That's why people who live in gratitude seem to have endless blessings. They've simply learned how to look at the mirror with appreciation instead of complaint. Another key is responsibility. The mirror of life rewards ownership and punishes blame. When you take full responsibility for your results, both good and bad, you gain power. As long as you blame others or circumstances, you hand your power away. You say, I can't change because the reflection won't change. But when you own your role, you step back into the driver's seat. You realize that the reflection isn't fixed, it's flexible, waiting for you to shift your energy. Responsibility means recognizing that every choice you make, every thought you entertain, and every emotion you nurture contributes to the picture life shows you. Let's take an example. Suppose you feel undervalued at work. It's easy to blame your boss, your coworkers, or the system. But what if the mirror is showing you something deeper? Maybe your own lack of self-belief or your tendency to stay silent instead of speaking up. Once you shift internally by valuing your contribution and communicating your worth, the outer situation begins to reflect that change. The mirror starts to respect you because you began respecting yourself. The same principle applies to relationships. If you keep attracting people who mistreat you, the mirror might be showing you a lack of boundaries or self-love. If you attract distance or disconnection, perhaps it's reflecting your own emotional walls. Instead of asking, why do they treat me this way? Start asking, what energy am I sending out that allows this? As you heal internally, the reflection begins to transform. Healthy self-love attracts healthy love. Clear boundaries attract respect. The mirror can't lie. One of the most powerful practices to work with the mirror of life is self-reflection. Take time each day to ask yourself, what am I attracting? What patterns keep showing up? What emotions do I carry most often? Those answers will reveal the quality of your energy. If you find negativity, don't judge it. Adjust it. Replace it with gratitude, optimism, and courage. The mirror doesn't need you to be perfect. It only needs you to be aware and intentional. You see, life always wants to give you what you're ready for. When you grow, your reflection grows. When you evolve, the world around you evolves. That's why people who focus on personal development seem to get lucky. It's not luck, it's resonance. They've polished their inner mirror so that life reflects clarity, confidence, and success. The universe can only give you what matches your vibration. So make sure your vibration matches what you want. And here's the beautiful part, the mirror of life is always forgiving. You can change your reflection at any moment by changing your energy. No matter how long you've been projecting fear, anger, or doubt, the instant you shift to love, gratitude, and faith, the reflection begins to soften. The universe responds to your current vibration, not your past mistakes. So even if your reflection has been harsh, you can make it gentle again. In the end, the mirror of life is not your enemy. It's your greatest teacher. It shows you exactly what you need to see, so you can grow into who you're meant to be. Every challenge, every delay, every disappointment is feedback, not failure. It's life saying, adjust your energy and I'll adjust your reflection. And when you learn to smile first, to change yourself before demanding the world change, you unlock the true power of attraction. Because the moment you transform within, the reflection becomes radiant. Life begins to mirror back abundance, love, peace, and joy. All because you chose to change the image you were showing it. Becoming the person who deserves it. Let me leave you with this truth. Don't chase success. Become the kind of person success is attracted to. Don't beg for opportunity, prepare for it. Don't wish for an easier life. Build stronger character. The law of attraction is not about wishful thinking. It's about intentional becoming. It's about aligning who you are with what you desire. If you want better results, don't wish for better circumstances. Work on becoming better yourself. Because as you grow, everything around you grows. Don't chase success. Become the kind of person success is attracted to. That's one of Jim Rohn's most profound ideas, and it's the heart of the law of attraction. Too many people spend their lives chasing results, running after rewards, and trying to grab opportunities that always seem to slip away. But success, real success, is never something you catch. It's something you magnetize by who you become. The goal isn't to wish for things. The goal is to grow into the kind of person who naturally deserves them. The truth is, the universe operates on alignment, not desperation. You can't attract what you aren't in harmony with. You can't draw in abundance while thinking thoughts of scarcity. You can't pull in love while living in fear. You can't bring in opportunity while doubting your own ability to handle it. If you want to receive more, you must first be more. The quality of your results will always reflect the quality of your character. Success doesn't respond to words, it responds to vibration, to discipline, to the energy of someone who has paid the price for growth. So what does it mean to become the person who deserves it? It means you stop waiting for circumstances to change and start taking responsibility for changing yourself. It means you replace excuses with effort, laziness with learning, and fear with faith. Success doesn't come to those who wish, it comes to those who prepare. Every dream carries a price tag, and the price is personal development. If you want more, you have to earn the capacity to handle more. If you want to lead, you must first learn to follow. If you want influence, you must build integrity. If you want abundance, you must think abundantly, not just when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Becoming the person who deserves success means focusing on your habits more than your hopes. Your habits are the roots of your future. You can dream about change all day long, but if you don't change your daily disciplines, nothing will grow. As Jim Rohn said, success is nothing more than a few simple disciplines practiced every day. If you discipline yourself to read, to learn, to plan, to save, to train, to improve, little by little, you start shaping yourself into a person of value, and success is always attracted to value. Think of it this way. The universe is like a garden, and every result you want is a seed. If you want to harvest abundance, plant the seeds of discipline and persistence. If you want happiness, plant the seeds of gratitude and kindness. If you want success, plant the seeds of purpose and consistency. The soil of life is always fertile. It's your habits that determine what grows. You can't plant laziness and expect prosperity to bloom. You can't plant negativity and expect joy to flourish. You reap what you sow, not because the world is unfair, but because the world is faithful. Another key part of becoming deserving is mindset. You must believe you're capable, even when you don't yet see the results. Self-belief is the foundation of attraction. Not arrogance or blind optimism, but a calm, quiet confidence that says, I can grow into this. I can become the person who earns this. That belief changes how you walk, talk, and act. It shapes your decisions, your discipline, and your destiny. Most people wait to believe until they see results, but life doesn't work that way. You must believe first, then the results will come. But belief alone isn't enough. You must pair it with action. The universe rewards movement. Faith without effort is fantasy. Every great thing you want, success, love, growth, peace, requires you to show up consistently. You can't become deserving in your comfort zone. Growth only happens when you stretch yourself, when you do the uncomfortable work that others avoid. Every act of discipline sharpens your character. Every challenge you overcome strengthens your spirit. Every time you choose growth over ease, you raise your frequency, and life begins to respond to that new level. Becoming the person who deserves it also means aligning your words with your behavior. Many people talk about wanting success, but their actions say otherwise. They procrastinate, make excuses, and avoid accountability. You can't fool the universe. It responds only to authenticity. When your actions match your intentions, the energy you send out becomes powerful and clear. People begin to trust you. Opportunities begin to open. You start attracting situations that reflect your integrity and dedication. One of the biggest mistakes people make is chasing shortcuts. They look for a quick result instead of becoming the kind of person who can sustain that result. But success that comes before personal growth never lasts. You might get a temporary win, but without the inner foundation, it will slip away. That's why Jim Rohn said, don't wish for less problems, wish for more skills. When you build yourself up, you become capable of handling greater responsibility, and greater opportunities start finding you. You must also learn patience. Becoming the person who deserves success is a process, not a moment. Growth takes time, and the universe rewards those who persist. Every day you stay consistent. Reading, working, improving, learning, you're sending out a signal that says, I'm ready. The universe always tests your readiness before delivering your reward. Sometimes the delay isn't denial, it's preparation. You're being shaped into the version of yourself that can handle the blessings you're asking for. And don't forget humility. True success isn't just about achieving goals, it's about becoming wise and grounded enough to appreciate them. When you grow in humility, you attract respect. When you grow in generosity, you attract trust. When you grow in patience, you attract peace. Each virtue strengthens your magnet. You begin to realize that success is not a destination, but a reflection of who you've become through the journey. So stop wishing and start working. Stop waiting for luck and start building discipline. Stop asking, when will it happen? And start asking, who must I become for it to happen? The answer to every dream you have lies in that question. Life will never give you what you want, it will give you what you earn by growth. And once you grow enough, success has no choice but to find you. Because in the end, you don't chase greatness. You attract it by becoming great yourself. You don't pursue success. It's drawn to you like metal to a magnet when your character, your habits, and your mindset are aligned with excellence. The moment you become the person who truly deserves it, the reward stops running from you and starts running toward you. And that's the beauty of the law of attraction, not in wishing for better circumstances, but in working to become the person who creates them. So tonight, I want you to make a decision to become the kind of person who attracts excellence, abundance, and success. Start thinking higher. Start acting bolder. Start believing stronger. And soon you'll discover that life begins to meet you at the level of your expectations. Because remember what Jim Rohn said, the major key to your better future is you. Thank you.